Hey guys, my name is Ashley and welcome back to my channel, Worth the Read, where we talk about books that are worth your time reading. Today's video is a book review of A Weekend Break with My Sister, the Serial Killer. So let's get right into it. So the author of My Sister, the Serial Killer is Nigerian, so it's only fitting that she based the book in Nigeria, and that's one of the things I liked about it. I like books that aren't based in America because then you get other cultures. The main character, Karabi, is a older sister. Her younger sister, Ayala, is basically a serial killer. Now, I'm gonna give you details without giving the book away. So, sister has killed 3 men that she has been dating, and she always calls her sister to the rescue. So her sister becomes very good, who happens to be a nurse, let me say that, becomes very good at cleaning up and disposing of dead bodies because of her sister killing all these men. Now, the book is less about the killing of the men and more about the dynamics between the two sisters. Karobi is a older sister in the true definition of the word, meaning she feels responsible for her little sister's actions, regardless if they're positive or negative. She's supposed to take care of it. And I know in most Afro-American cultures and African cultures, your siblings, especially if you're an older sibling, I'm an older sibling, you're responsible for your younger sibling. So if they do something wrong, it's your fault. If they do something right, they did that, good for them. If they step out of line, it's your fault. You are responsible for your sibling. Every move they make is supposed to be attached to you. So the dynamic between the sisters is very hostile. The older sister has always been the ugly duckling. Her younger sister in the book is portrayed very beautiful. They don't look alike. She has a perfect figure. She's shapely, and men are easily attracted to her. And because of this, nobody is putting 2 and 2 together that all the men she tends to date, something happens to them, or they fall off the face of the earth, or they meet a untimely death. So her younger sister really plays on her looks. Her looks have gotten her by. She doesn't have a college degree. She doesn't really work. You know, their mother and their father per se had money, but he also met an untimely death. But Karabi, hope I'm pronouncing it right, she has a degree, she's a nurse, she's working hard at the hospital, and she has a crush on a doctor. And of course, her sister magically pops up at her job, and once the doctor lays eyes on her sister, it's a wrap for her. I enjoyed this book. I'm going to give you 2 reviews. I'm going to give you what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it, and my overall score for My Sister's the Serial Killer. What I enjoyed about this book, it is a quick read. It's only 260 pages. The chapters are very short. I won't even consider them chapters. Each chapter has a title, and the longest chapter I read was probably 4 pages. So if you're looking for a quick read, kind of thriller, mystery, sibling dynamic, kind of young adult novel, I highly suggest this book. I liked that it portrays women, and I hate to say, because it sounds weird what I'm about to say, but just go with me. The woman is a serial killer. I think a lot of fiction movies, women are always portrayed to be these weak and docile characters and never really strong or able to handle themselves. In this book, she's a serial killer. She's killed more than 3 people. So she's classified as a serial killer. Um, I also love the fact that the sister, at the end of the day, loyalty and family over anything prevailed. Now, I know sometimes people think, siblings are siblings and siblings can go their separate ways and everything, but if you were met with a obstacle that could basically ruin your sibling's life, even though you know what they're doing and what they have done is wrong, would you protect them? Would you be loyal to your sibling? And she was, to a fault. She was too loyal to her sister. And I think that was her downfall in this book. But I enjoyed it. I did enjoy the read. That's pretty much it. I don't want to give it away. What I also liked about this book is she weaves the dialect in the book. So you do have some words you may not understand. You can Google translate them. She references a lot of their tradition and their garb and the things that they wear. So this is why I like to read books by authors that talk about their homelands, because you learn as you're reading the book. Get it? That's the point of reading, is to gain knowledge. And you do when you read this book. Now, one of my cons about this book was one of the things I liked about it, which is kind of weird, but I didn't like I liked how loyal she was to her sister, but I did not like how loyal she was to her sister because she sacrificed herself for her sister. Her feelings. I'm going to say it. Her sister runs into the doctor that she likes. So Karabu's sister, Ayelo, comes to work one day, and the doctor that Karaba is in love with and been trying to get closer to, and for what they tell you in the book, it was starting to work. She's bringing him lunch. He's starting to notice her. And then her beautiful sister walks in and is just like, Karaba, who? Who is this? You didn't tell me you had a sister that looked like that. And that's all he saw from there. And she knew from the very beginning that's why, first of all, none of her coworkers knew that she had a sister. None of them. So when the sister comes in, everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's your sister. She's gorgeous. It was clear that she was keeping her sister away from this for that very reason. Once people saw her, Karaba's identity kind of faded to the back, and it's all about her sister. Everybody wants to talk about her sister. Everybody wants to be around her sister. Her sister comes off as a very charismatic person, but it's just, she sacrificed herself for her sister. Her sister asked her in the very beginning, do you like this man? Are you in love with him? And she tells her no. Instead of just being honest and saying, yes, I'm in love with him. I really like him. I need you to stay away. I want him to focus on me. She lies to her sister, and she does it knowing that if her sister starts to date him, there would be the chance that he would end up dead. Because all the guys pretty much that she dated ended up dead. I didn't like how she sacrificed herself for her sibling. So I guess that's the loyalty thing. Like she was a little too loyal. Being loyal to someone is great, A-okay. But are you loyal to the point where you're willing to fall on your own sword for that person? That's the question that was brought up a lot in the topic of this book. What I didn't like about it is you don't get details about the murders. You get little snippets, but you don't get details into why or how they happen. You know she does this one thing and she uses this one tool, but it really doesn't give you background on why she's mentally like this, where she's killing these men. The father dies. They tell you the father dies, and there's a scenario. But again, they don't tell you what really happened to the father. The outcome, it jumps. Now, the book does foreshadowing. So it'll talk about one topic in the present, and it'll go back to the past and say a scenario. And then it'll go back to the present and go back to the past. It doesn't do a lot, but it does do it. And when you go back to the past, you're thinking you're going to get major details about their father, which is a major issue in their family, but you don't. You know that he's died. You know that he was killed. They kind of insinuate that Aiello did it, but they really don't tell you anything. So one of my major issues with this book is I wanted more details. I wanted to know more. Tell me more about these murders. This woman is killing people and getting away with it. The sister is cleaning up after her, disposing these bodies. And they really don't tell you much detail about the murders. Sorry, my memory card filled up. What I'm not telling you, I'm leaving out major things because the book is short and I don't want to give you too much detail. I really would like you to read it for yourself. But Karabu did have a confidant in this book. She had someone that she told every sticky little dirty detail about her sisters, her feeling towards her sisters, the murders, how she was getting good at disposing of bodies, and things like that. This person also ends up being a voice of reason for her. Small voice of reason. But then they didn't develop that any further in the book. I think the book was too short. Let me just say that. That's one thing I didn't like. I think the book was too short. I needed more. I needed more detail. I think it was a good foundation. A lot of things were going on, but once you got into it, it just seemed like she stopped talking about it and moved on to the next subject. That's my biggest gripe with this book, is that it needed more detail. I wanted more information, and you don't get it, but it is a good read. Overall, I give this book 3.5 stars, so it's definitely worth the read, especially since it's short and it's quick and you get through it fast. So if you have a day or a weekend and you want a good quick read about something that we don't hear much about, which is women serial killers, I suggest My Sister the Serial Killer. 3.5 stars. It has its faults, but it's definitely worth the read. And that is all we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, all that jazz. It's late at night for me. I just came from a bridal shower and I was all made up. And I was just like, let me shoot a video real quick and get it done. So, here I am, you guys. I'm tired. I had a long day. I've been up since 4 in the morning and it's currently 9:20 in Philly. So, p.m. 9:20 p.m. Like, comment, rate, subscribe. I am currently reading The Prada Plan 4. This is one of my favorite urban fiction series by one of my favorite urban fiction writers, Ashley Antoinette. Her and her husband, Shaquavius, write excellent urban fiction. Excellent urban fiction. So this is the 4th book of the Prada Plan series, and I will do a review when I read all. I think they're currently on 5 books. A 6 is to come. So hopefully they'll wrap it up, because one thing about them, they just tend to let series drag on and on and on. Eventually you have to come to an end. But that's what I'm currently reading. Again, like, comment, rate, subscribe, share my videos, turn a friend on to me. I'll do the same for you guys. Comment below if you've read My Sister the Serial Killer. And have a great evening, guys. Love you. Bye. Peace out from Worth to Read.